स्वागत है आज के इस संध्याकालीन क्लास में, कक्षा में। तो आज के हमारे स्पीकर हैं हिज ग्रेस माधव मुरारी प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी रशिया में बॉर्न हुए हैं। प्रभु जी कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस का प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं सिंस 2066 से, मींस मोर देन 19 ईयर प्रभु जी का हो गया कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में। प्रभु जी फर्स्ट इनिशिएटेड है 2008 में एंड सेकंड इनिशिएशन प्रभु जी का 2018 में हुआ है। प्रभु जी ग्रेजुएट ऑफ द Saratov State Academy of Law in 2005 with a degree in law and Altai State University in 2014 with a degree of religious studies. Prabhuji is a pujari in the temple of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Moscow Vedic Culture Center at Botanical Garden Metro Station 2008 से 2010 तक प्रभुजी वहाँ पुजारी के रूप में थे। Coordinated the publication of magazine Sankirtana of the New Age between 2010 to 2014. Prabhuji was engaged in Vaishnava education in the Russia Federation, the Golden Ring area from 2014 to 2022. Prabhuji is a translator and a servant of His Holiness Bhakti Vishambha Madhav Swami between 2015 and 16, and His Holiness Bhakti Anugrah Janardhan Swami between 2019 and 2020. Now, Prabhuji lives in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, conducts spiritual classes and educational programs, translates Vaishnava literature, preaches in Kyrgyzstan, Russia, India, and Germany. So let's welcome Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhamma Ram. Welcome Prabhuji.
Good evening, Haribol. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, very nice. So today's topic was announced: how to become enthused in devotional service, how to get inspiration. So let's discuss this very important subject matter. And what is our timing for today? I mean, for how long I can speak and for how long we are taking questions?
Prabhuji, till 8:50 we can then we can take question after 8:50.
After 8:50, 50.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Understand. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank
Okay, so you see, this inspiration is very important. Just one moment. So this inspiration is very important in devotional service. Srila Rupa Goswami, he is saying in Upadeshamrita, in Nectar of Instruction, Utsaha Nishchaya Daryat. There are particular qualities that we really have to develop if we want to be stable in devotional service. Utsaha means enthusiasm, and Nishchaya means determination, and Daryat means tolerance. So there are particular qualities that are needed, otherwise we will fail to practice this devotional service, this bhakti yoga for a long time. So let's discuss this nature of enthusiasm, of inspiration, how to develop this quality. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, verse number 8.5, there is very important statement. But before, let's pronounce our prayers. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtхая Bhutale, Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gaura Vani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Pashchitya Shatarine. Om Agyana Timirandasya, Gyananjana Shalakaya, Chakshurun Militam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manukpishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale, Svairupa Kadama Yam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sinubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Читание Чаритамрита Адилила, verse number 8.5. Мука кавитвакаре ян сабара смаране, пангу гири лакхе анга декхе тарагане. By remembering the lotus feet of the Pancha Tattva, a dumb man can become a poem, a lame man can cross mountains, and a blind man can see the stars in the sky. We have to get this mercy of Pancha Tattva, of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita, Gadadhar, Shrivas. We have to get their mercy. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he explains that there are three ways how we can become perfect in our spiritual life. In Vaishnava philosophy, there are three ways for perfection, namely, sadhana siddha, perfection attained by executing devotional service according to the rules and regulations. Nitya siddha, eternal perfection attained by never forgetting Krishna at any time. And kripa siddha, perfection attained by the mercy of the spiritual master or another Vaishnava. Kaviraja Goswami here stresses kripa siddha, perfection by the mercy of superior authorities. This mercy doesn't depend on qualifications of a devotee. By such mercy, even if a devotee is dumb, he can speak or write to glorify the Lord splendidly. Even if lame, he can cross mountains, and even if blind, he can see the stars in the sky. Hare Krishna. So there are three ways, three categories of living entities who have, who are siddhis, who achieved perfection in devotional service. Nitya siddha. Nitya siddha means inhabitant of spiritual world, means he doesn't have to put any endeavors to achieve anything because he already in this position. He is perfect in the sense of spiritual life. And there are two more, kripa siddha and sadhana siddha. If we are speaking about kripa siddha, then we can just remind ourselves about this story about one dog who was taken care by Nimai Pandit, or small Nimai. When this Nimai was a child, he decided, let me take this puppy dog and let me take care of this puppy dog and let me play games with this animal, because this puppy dog is so nice. It's so nice looking. So let me play with this puppy dog. And but Shachimata, his mother, she was telling that where Brahmanas were not playing with dogs. It is not our standard. It is not standard of our life. So when Nimai went to take bath on Ganges, on Ganges, then Shachimata, she just let this dog run away from that place where their family was living. And then Nimai, when he came back and when he saw that this dog is not here, this puppy dog is not here, then he became really upset. And the whole village, inspired by small Nimai, by little Nimai, they were searching for this dog. Where is this dog? Because if Nimai will be satisfied, then everyone is satisfied. The same story we can see in case of Krishna Lila, when Krishna was was small child, also everyone was trying to satisfy him. Everyone was trying to behave in such way that Krishna would be happy, he would be satisfied. And if he is satisfied, then it is perfection of their life of Brijabasis. Very simple story. Like for example, Krishna, he inspired the whole village, Nanda Maharaj and all these coward men and coward boys to worship Govardhan Hill. It is another story which we're not going to discuss today, but anyway, Supreme Lord is Supreme Lord. He is the source of our inspiration. We can get inspiration from devotees or we can get inspiration from spiritual master, but ultimately he is the source of everyone's inspiration. First of all, if we're speaking about spiritual life, then inspiration to follow this spiritual path. So the same way, when someone is saying, I'm not so much inspired to chant holy names of Lord Shri Krishna now, I will be waiting when I will be inspired, and then I will take my japa mala and I will be chanting holy names of Shri Krishna. Okay, we can wait for a long time. And this inspiration is not guaranteed in this case. But if just by forcing ourselves, if we will be chanting holy names, even if we don't feel any taste, anyway, this taste will come because the source of this taste is Supreme Lord. Means for some period of time, it is normal, especially when we are practicing sadhana. It is normal that we're not so much inspired or we're not experiencing great taste, deep taste of this chanting. But after chanting few rounds, we can see that this process becomes easier, and we can see that some inspiration is there, some inspiration which we didn't experience maybe 20 or 30 or 40 minutes back. But when we chant, we can ask Krishna to bestow His mercy on us, and it can help us very nicely. So Kripa Siddhi and Sadhana Siddhi. If we're speaking about this dog, usually this form of life, when someone was born as a dog, this form of life is not meant for spiritual progress, for spiritual elevation, but just because Nimai, just because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he decided, oh, this dog is very nice, let me play with this dog, let me pay attention on this dog. Just because of that, ultimately this dog came back to the spiritual world, and this Viman was sent especially for this dog from the sky. Just because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu liked this dog. So the same way, in our spiritual life, we can put our endeavors, or we can have this desire that let my spiritual master like me. Let me behave in such way that he will be pleased by my actions, by my endeavors. Or let me act in such way that this day will come when he will tell me that I like what you're doing in devotional service. So it is good desire, it is spiritual desire. And someone can say that it looks like competition because it looks like you are trying to push yourself forward. No, we're not trying to push ourselves forward. We are not against. We don't mind if other devotees also are able to satisfy spiritual master. We don't mind if spiritual master likes other devotees also, other disciples also. It is normal. But at the same way, if we are able to attract spiritual master's attention to what we're doing to ourselves, then it can help us. Because in such way, we can get some portion of his kripa. Kripa means mercy. And I mean, he can, we can get his glance, his merciful glance on ourselves. We can get some benedictions. We can get some benedictions, some blessings, especially if we are asking for something spiritual, not for material. Give me this, give me that. Please bless me to achieve such and such position. Not for that, but we can ask him to bless us to progress in spiritual life, to get more taste for Vaishnava Seva or for chanting of the holy names, for Nama Bhajan, for other things. We can ask for that. We can ask. And spiritual master is happy to bless for that. So it is called kripa, but at the same time, we don't deny the principle of sadhana. Sadhana means that we have this duty to chant our rounds every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Our position is such that mainly we can call ourselves sadhakas. We're trying to follow this sadhana. We're trying to wake up early in the morning. We are trying to chant holy names and read books and do some practical devotional service. And if we will achieve perfection in spiritual life, then we will get this title of sadhana siddhi, someone who achieved siddhi by following strict sadhana. And sometimes this point is emphasized in our Vaishnava communities, in our ashramas, in our temples. Sometimes we can hear about someone who lives in brahmachari ashrama or someone who is sannyasi, that, oh, this Swamiji or this Prabhuji is so special. He never failed to attend Mangala Arati. Each and every Mangala Arati he is here. So to be strict, it is nice. Sometimes we can fall sick, or sometimes we can experience some strong influence of Mahamaya, and sometimes it becomes difficult to follow. But anyway, even if we, if there is a slip, we slipped on this spiritual path anyway, if we fell down, we should just stand up and continue. We should just stand up and go on with this process because it is important. It is Yuga Dharma. We chant holy names, and it is a recommended process, authoritative process to progress spiritually. And we should not neglect this process because now we have this opportunity to chant holy names. But Kali Yuga will be progressing, and we don't know what opportunities will be in the future. We don't know. Well, actually, we know that after some time, everything will be restricted. Any religious activity, any spiritual activity will be restricted. And it is predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam, in 12th canto. In 12th canto, it is predicted how Kali Yuga will be progressing. So at least now, just 5,000 years passed after beginning of Kali Yuga age. So still we have some opportunities to progress. So let's use our opportunities. It is important because it is not that these opportunities always will be there. And Mahamaya, illusory energy, is always trying to cheat us, always trying to cheat living entities. This Mahamaya is trying to convince. She is saying, now you are too young to practice devotional service, just enjoy your young age and enjoy this life and enjoy freedom and enjoy everything. And when you will become old, then you will be practicing, then you will become religious. But after person becomes old, first of all, it is not that everyone becomes old. We don't know for how long we will be living here on this planet, but anyway, if someone achieves this old age, it is not guaranteed that we will be having energy for practicing, and it is not guaranteed that we will be having particular consciousness which will be suitable for spiritual life. Because if all these previous decades were decades of sinful life, then we get these samskaras. And because of the influence of these samskaras, it is much more difficult to take spiritual life seriously. So better not to neglect this opportunity to practice spiritual life. Sadhana siddha means one who achieves perfection in spiritual life by doing sadhana. Sadhana means particular process which we are doing every day, which is prescribed by our tradition, which is prescribed by spiritual master, and we are doing this every day, the same way like musicians, they are playing on their musical instruments every day, or singers, they are also going through this vocal training every day in order to keep their skills nicely. La 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 la. Singers, they are training themselves every day. Otherwise, they can lose their skills. The same way we do our spiritual endeavors every day. And these endeavors are about to accumulate. You know? This process of accumulation is very important. And one day, when it is our duty to prove Supreme Personality of Godhead, to prove Krishna that we are serious. So we're trying to prove that we're serious about this desire to become his servant again. We're trying to do it. And after some time, he will accept us. It will take some time. We don't know how long. We don't know. Maybe years, maybe decades, maybe lives. We don't know. But anyway, sadhaka is one who is determined. Utsaha nishchaya daryat. Utsaha means enthusiasm, and nishchaya means determination. Determination means I will be doing this. I will be doing this because I have faith in words of my spiritual master, and I will be doing this because anyway, this spiritual perfection is something that which I really want to achieve. So there are different people and their characters can be different. Some people are not so much determined by their nature. For some people it is easier. But anyway, we should try to develop this quality of determination. In Bhagavad Gita verse 9.32 it is said, Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepi syuh papa yoneaha striyo vaishyas tatha shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Krishna he is saying here, O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, Shudras can attain the supreme destination. Everyone can attain this supreme destination. There can be a low birth, there can be a lacking of spiritual qualification, there can be lacking of good qualities of character. But anyway, it depends on our determination, on our faith. And if we have this, at least a little drop of this faith, usually it is sufficient to chant holy names every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in one class, I will tell you in which class. In a class which Srila Prabhupada gave in 1976 in Mayapur on Srimad Bhagavatam verse 794. He explains here that everyone has got the potency to become Mahabhagavata. Everyone has this potency. Sadhana Siddha and Nitya Siddha, there are different categories of living entities. For example, Prahlada Maharaja was Nitya Siddha, and there are Sadhana Siddhas, just like we are. We're trying to approach the topmost goal of life by bhajana, by sadhana. Anyone has got the potency to come to the stage of Mahabhagavata, provides he follows the Mahajana. Mahajana. You can become Mahabhagavata if you follow Mahajana. Mahajano Yanagatach Sapanchach means if we are following spiritual authorities. If we are following spiritual authorities, then we can expect that what we can expect? We can expect that we will achieve perfection of this spiritual life, but only under spiritual guidance. Mahajano Yanagatach Sapanchach. If we don't have spiritual guidance, well, my dear friend, just forget it. If you if you don't follow anyone, if you have your own idea how you're going to achieve Supreme Personality of Godhead without any representative of Sri Guru Parampara, of this chain of disciplic succession, then it doesn't work like this. Srila Prabhupada, he gives very simple explanation. If we go, if we are about to get medical education or law education, then we have to have some relationships with those who are already practicing, those who are already working as doctors or as lawyers. Otherwise, it doesn't work. If we just go to library and read all these books on different medical sciences, it doesn't work. We have to find someone who can teach us how to do surgery or whatever. And if someone decided to learn surgery just by reading books, will you go to such doctor? Will you go to such doctor who learned surgery just by reading books? Is it a reliable situation or not? What do you think? Likely not. Likely not. So the same way, blind man remains blind man if he doesn't have bona fide spiritual master. Just by using his brain, his mental capacities, he cannot understand who is Krishna and who is he and what is all this material world about. We are dependent. We are dependent in that sense. In each and every country, there is Independence Day. And we celebrate our independence. And some people, they are inclined to think that they are independent. In some fields of life, maybe it is so, but in spiritual life, we really depend on mercy of spiritual master. And we really depend on how serious we took his instructions. If we took his instructions seriously, then it works, otherwise it doesn't. And I see that someone raised their hands. You just wait a little bit, you just wait 10 minutes more, and then I will take your questions, because our questions and answers session will be 10 minutes later, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. So spiritual guidance is very important. And Srila Prabhupada, he is saying, what does it mean sadhana? Sadhana. Sadhana means the activity by which we can attain, we can achieve that goal of life that is called sadhya, sadhana. Sadhya, sadhana. First of all, we have to get knowledge. What is our aim? What is our goal? Or this goal, in Sanskrit language, we call it sadhya. And we cannot invent our own meaning of life, because this meaning of life is already described in sacred scriptures. So it cannot be invented. And we have to approach spiritual master, and he will tell us what is the aim of life. And the aim of life is to uh, learn, to learn how to act as dasa anudasa, as a servant of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. We have to learn it again. The same way, like for example, if someone had brain stroke, there is such disease. Someone has got brain stroke. Like for example, Pope, he has got brain stroke recently. In Catholic tradition, their Pope, he has got brain stroke. And because of brain stroke, sometimes people, they have to learn how to speak again, because they lose this capacity to speak because of this brain stroke. So the same way, we are here in material world for quite long period of time, and because of that we have these skills and these strong desires to serve our senses, to fulfill our own desires only. And this process of bhakti yoga is about how to learn again how to satisfy Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, and it is our natural position. So aim is how to get back to this natural position. But we cannot invent this aim. Only Guru, he is saying us that you are part and parcel of Krishna and you have to serve Krishna. We cannot invent this idea by ourselves, because this conditioned mind is not designed in such a way that we could invent this transcendental idea. This idea is transcendental. This conditioned mind can invent only different ideas. How can I serve myself? Or how can I serve this society? Or how can I serve my family members? But this idea that my duty is to serve Supreme Lord Shri Krishna is transcendental idea, and someone has to teach us this idea. The same way, like for example, when we were small children, and someone taught us how to read and how to write, and someone taught us this Latin alphabet, and someone taught us Devanagari alphabet. And we cannot invent this alphabet. And this alphabet was before us. And it will be many, many years after us also. And someone has just has to give us access to this knowledge. So the same way, we cannot invent this knowledge, and we depend on our spiritual authorities. Will they give us access to this knowledge, or will they give us access to their realizations on spiritual path? That's why we are trying to get sadhu sangha, to get as much sadhu sangha as possible. And the value of this sadhu sangha is that we can discuss spiritual life with those Vaishnavas who are experienced Vaishnavas, and we can discuss it with them, and they can share their realizations. And it is also the question of access, because they can tell us about their realizations, or they can they can keep their realizations with themselves, because it is quite confidential. It is the question of relationships. We cannot force anyone to share realizations, right? We can ask, we can humbly ask. So the same way, we depend on them, on their mercy. So these things are going together. We're asking for mercy, we want to get mercy, and at the same time we are practicing sadhana. We're about to chant holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We put endeavors and we are waiting for mercy, and it goes all together, because we cannot expect mercy without putting any endeavors. A lazy man, he cannot expect that he will be he will be getting his salary just without doing anything, you know. I'm not about to do anything, but I'm waiting for my salary. Well, it is this example, this analogy is not so much transcendental, but anyway, at least it is clear. So the same way, we want to attract attention of Supreme Personality of Godhead to ourselves by putting endeavors in spiritual life. So because of that, we are following sadhana. And this process of sadhana is given by spiritual master. And sadhana is meant to achieve sadhya, to achieve aim of spiritual life. And knowledge of aim, about aim, we cannot invent. Only spiritual master gives us this knowledge. And only spiritual master, he gives us the explanation of the process, how we can achieve this aim. So much we depend. So much we depend on his mercy. Still, this mood, this bhav, this mood of independence is still there. But what to do? This humility is important because we depend on them. Anyway, we depend. And we're going further. So in today's advertisement, in today's announcement, it was written that if someone wants to be inspired, if this sadhana become routine for someone, okay, I will read what was written here in this announcement. Are you performing your daily sadhana as a routine by longing for deeper connection and spiritual ecstasy? Join us for a transformational session on how to elevate our spiritual practices from mere discipline to pure blissful devotion. Blissful devotion. Well, the answer on this question is such that we have to be tolerant. Anyway, if we don't experience taste, anyway, just be tolerant. Just have this trust in spiritual master's words that it works. It takes time. It takes years. It takes decades. It can take lives. Whatever. If we have determination, nishchaya, then we will not be stopped in our spiritual life. If we really, if we able to appreciate the value of this spiritual life, and again, how we can appreciate value of our spiritual life, the same way, just by mercy of spiritual master, because he explains the value of spiritual life in his classes. So you see, so much we depend on his example, on his instructions. So how to make this spiritual life blissful? Just by observing this bliss which emanates from spiritual master. It is important. Not only from our Diksha Guru, but from any ISKCON Guru. We can observe their activities and we can see this bliss which emanates from them. And just by listening their instructions with faith and with respect, we can get understanding. We can get this understanding on what are the sources of their inspiration, what are the sources of their bliss, why they are inspired. We can understand just by listening of what they are saying. If we want to see who person is, just let them speak something, let them tell something. Because otherwise, before someone told something, we cannot understand what kind of a person he is. And it is nice way for people to hide themselves, just to keep silent. If I am silent, no one can understand what kind of person I am. If I'm telling something, then it tells something about me. What person tells something about that person. It works like that. So, Srila Prabhupada, he is saying that cleanliness and following the routine work, it is our method. You must be very clean, neat and clean. Rise early in the morning. We have got our duties. So this sadhana, these everyday spiritual activities, they are called here in this class. In this conversation. Srila Prabhupada is calling this as routine work. You can decide or you can think that this term routine is negative term, but Srila Prabhupada is using this term in positive meaning, in that sense that we have to do it every day. And if we do it every day, if we chant our rounds every day, then it works and it transforms our consciousness. And also in one letter, Srila Prabhupada writes like this: we must always be careful to render firstly our routine devotional practices. Again, he is using this word routine, but not in negative sense. Firstly, our routine devotional practices and maintain always the highest standards of chanting, preaching, temple worship, rising early, cleansing, street sankirtana, etc. Business is secondary to our basic routine work. If the routine Krishna consciousness program is neglected for other things, then everything else will fail. Why? Because if we chant our rounds early in the morning and if we read books and if we recharge our spiritual batteries every morning, then we have power and then we have the spiritual purity to manage to manage with different situations that are sent to us every day, sent to our in our life by Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if there is no spiritual power and if there is no spiritual purity, then it will be much more difficult to deal with this. So sadhana is very important. Srila Prabhupada, he uses this word routine here, but here he uses this word in positive meaning, not in negative meaning. And now we are going to the question and answer session. Hare Krishna. If you have some questions, please ask your questions. Yes, please, Bhagavat Sharma Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagat Prabhuji, आप unmute करें.
I wanted to ask Prabhuji,
So what is the question?
yes, Prabhuji, it is seen in material life we get bored doing things repeatedly. And sometimes,
Almost not audible. I cannot understand what you are saying.
now am I audible, Prabhuji?
Now you're audible.
Ji, Prabhuji, in material life, it has been seen that if we are doing something repeatedly, we get bored. If someone is going to office day, 9 to 5, he get bored with his life. In bhakti also, we are doing same things repeatedly. Till now, I'm not bored, but it's my fear that what will happen if I get bored with bhakti also. What will I do then? So Prabhuji, what can I do? Because we everything we are doing, if we are reading same books repeatedly, I know it is important to read shastras, but if we get bored, what then? What will be options for us? So that's my question, Prabhuji. What should I do to not get bored in bhakti?
So as far as I understood, you are asking how to follow sadhana in such way that you will never become bored, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Well, Srila Prabhupada is very merciful. He wrote so many books. he wrote about 80, 80 or 90 volumes of books. So if you are bored to read one particular book, you can just take another one. There are so many books you can choose because there is variety. And if to speak about our inspiration to chant holy names, we have to take association of those who are inspired. And just by getting this association or by listening their understanding of why it is important and why it is so nice and sweet to chant holy names. Just by getting this association, we can get this association and we can practice with, we can get this inspiration and we can practice with this inspiration. And also we have books. We have many books on how to chant holy names. And we have this book which is published by BBT, which is called Namamrita, where different quotes, different instructions given by Srila Prabhupada on this subject matter are collected all together in one volume. So we can use this book also. It depends. It is important to have a senior devotee who took this process of Nama Bhajana very seriously. And it is good if such a senior devotee is strict and if someone forces you to chant holy names and someone he is asking you, well, what about your japa? And of course, this mood, this desire to be independent is also quite natural for conditioned soul. But these questions from his side are for our benefit only. Well, it is the way how I would answer on this question. Some more questions. Diksha Radhor.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji, my question is related to this session. So, first of all, Prabhuji, thank you for the session. Prabhuji, my question is that today's heading is that routine to realization. है ना? So, sometimes it happens that we are stuck in something like routine. है ना? So, for example, morning, है ना? Morning session. When I start morning session, technique session, and then I express myself with my friend that you can have this tips to get up early in the morning, you can do this that and like this. So after this I also don't get up. So this has happened whenever I realize share my realization with someone, I also fall down. So Prabhuji, how can I stick on this routine and also share something with someone or help them with my realization that I learned from seniors? So how can I do?
Anukulyasya sankalpah pratikulyasya varjanam, which means we have to accept what is favorable for devotional service and reject what is not favorable. So if you see that after sharing your realizations, your inspiration goes down, maybe you should limit this process of how you share. Maybe you should share less, or maybe you should not share for some time, just to keep your own enthusiasm on a normal level. I'm not sure that I understood your question actually. Maybe you can clarify your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, should I repeat or what?
Well, if you have got this, if you have got the answer, I mean, if this answer is okay, that is okay, then it is okay. But I'm not sure that it is complete answer. So if you want to clarify the question, you can do it.
Okay, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, sometimes it happens that my friend also have a problem in spirituality, and I saw that she is very much thorough, and I want to help her through the knowledge I get. So I'm sharing something very genuine or a very genuine tips, and then next day my mind said, okay, now take rest for a small time, and then get up, and this is going on. So how to help others also, and also help for myself.
Ah, well, there are three levels of association. Association with those who are senior, those who are junior, those who are on the same level. So, if you feel that your enthusiasm goes down, then the source of this enthusiasm is our association with seniors. Maybe you should associate with them more. It just by experimental way you can see that something is lacking and something is too much, and usually we get some horrible we get some horrible we get some instructions from our seniors whom we trust, and then it helps us to wake up early in the morning and to follow other things. It works like this: our respect to our seniors and their example of these senior devotees, and it gives us this power, this strength to follow. Mhm.
Could I add a little bit question?
Yes, of course you
Can I?
can, of course.
Roji, I think is this Maya? Uh, because whenever I share or I praise myself, not directly but indirectly, that I'm talking that I'm waking up and you're not. So is this a Maya that she's okay? Now you're praising yourself and I'm goes you down. So
No, 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 you should not be proud of your following sadhana. No, no, you should not be. It is just your duty before Supreme Lord. You know, we're speaking about this love for Godhead. Usually, when they love each other, young man, young woman, they love each other, then these relationships are quite confidential. It is not that they are about to speak about these relationships to each and every person on each and every corner. It is not like that. So it is just your part of your relationships with Supreme. Because you are doing this just to wake up early in the morning and to chant your rounds, to have this association with Supreme. But because this love is not awakened by this moment, because of that, we're following in this mood of duty. But anyway, it is also love. It is just a particular form of love when there is no love. But anyway, we can call this, regulated love, process which helps us to awaken these natural spiritual emotions. We're not about to discuss what is quite confidential. We're not about to discuss it with each and every person. So, we should not be driven by pride. We should be driven by this desire to benefit people. So it is not related. Your sadhana is your sadhana, and his sadhana is his sadhana. Just you can tell him that you can follow, you can wake up early in the morning, you can chant your rounds, and you will feel yourself better. And it is for his benefit. It goes it goes separately. Srila Prabhupada gives an analogy that each and every person he flies on his own plane. Maybe you have read this analogy in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. Everyone flies in his own plane, means everyone has his own responsibility for his own spiritual life. If you have particular words to inspire someone, it is one story. But don't become proud of your sadhana. Your sadhana is your sadhana, and Krishna, he doesn't like proud people. We are about to collect mercy, to get mercy of Supreme Lord, and just because of uh, this mistake in our mood, we can lose this mercy. Better to stick to proper mercy, that we proper mood, stick to proper mood, that we're able to follow this by mercy of spiritual master and by mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It is not the it is not something which we can be proud of, you know. That's the answer on your question.
Yes, Prabhuji, that was the biggest problem. Okay, I will try. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ram Prakash Agarwal, right? Ram Prakash Agarwal.
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam.
Nice to see you,
My question
Prabhuji.
is,
Nice to
when
see
I
you.
get up in the morning, my state of mind and condition of mind is not remain the same, and it is affecting my japa session and my sadhana also. After sometimes it becomes little bit controlled, but sometimes it is very enthusiastic, sometimes it is very low, or sometimes so many thoughts are coming in between. So I just want to your guidance.
Guidance. Guidance is very simple. Just continue to do the same. And it is question of time. You can just look on our spiritual masters or on some devotees who are practicing for some reasonable period of time. You can see that they are able to control their minds better. Usually this skill it will be developed but it takes time to develop this skill. At the same
Right.
time, it is nice to go to ISKCON temple and to chant holy names with devotees together. And it also creates particular atmosphere which is good to develop this skill when you are able just to sit and to listen without any thoughts that are not related to process of chanting. Just this particular skill, particular habit when one is able just to sit, to listen, and without any ideas to do anything else. It is just question of practice. Just
Right.
just practice. Just believe that it works. Just if you don't believe, just take a note of some particular senior devotees who you know and who are able to show good example in that sense. It works like that.
Right. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Do we have some more questions? Bhagavat Sharma.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
I just
Krishna.
wanted to ask one little thing also. Prabhuji, where does this conviction to have patience come from? The patience which we have seen in our acharyas, our seniors in Srila Prabhupada. Where does this conviction come from? Where did this to have faith to believe what our acharyas and what shastras have said? Where does this conviction come from? And
Ah,
what is the main motivation to do things? Because if we don't have the proper right amount of motivation, right amount of conviction, we won't be able to do much, and we will leave bhakti after some time. So, as you are a very experienced devotee, I think you can answer very well.
ah. Well, your mic is not ideal, right? Sound is not ideal. But anyway, the question was about conviction and motivation, how to get this conviction in words of previous acharyas, like that, right? What is the source of that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, no, okay. Okay, so, well, we have founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So we're about to listen his classes and to read his books. And also there are particular devotees in ISKCON who took the service of Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru in ISKCON. And their duty, their role in our society, in ISKCON society, is to be transparent media between Shri Guru Parampara and audience. Audience means we, our circle, our group. And if we are listening our founder Acharya, if we're listening spiritual masters and different preachers with conviction, but anyway, some kind of conviction from our side is required. If some preliminary conviction, which is called shraddha in Sanskrit language, some kind of conviction, like for example, these people are saintly people, let me listen what they are saying. Likely they are saying something which is reasonable. Because some people who are not pious, who are not religious, they can be lacking even of this preliminary qualification. And it is question of piety, of sukriti, of punya, what we can say. Not so much we can help them. We can give them prasadam. If they don't have faith in words, at least they have faith in food, and we can give them prasadam. We can give them chanting of the holy names. Means it doesn't mean that we can force them or inspire them to chant holy names, but we can invite them to listen to kirtana, for example, or whatever. But anyway, if someone is not qualified to have this faith or preliminary conviction, preliminary faith, shraddha in these words of spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada, then just let them take prasadam and develop this faith just step by step. It is like this. And if to speak about conviction in words of previous acharyas, and we get this conviction by listening Srila Prabhupada and by listening spiritual masters and by listening preachers, because whatever is given in Bhagavad Gita purports and Srimad Bhagavatam purports of previous acharyas, these things are already here in Srila Prabhupada's purports, in Bhaktivedanta purports, because he compiled this all together and he adjusted this narration to our level of consciousness. He did it. So it was his instruction given by Srila Prabhupada, that first of all you please read my books, and after that you read books of previous acharyas. So this faith, conviction, motivation, it starts from personality of His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And we can study his example of his life by reading Prabhupada Lilamrita, by reading his books, by reading different books about Srila Prabhupada. And then it depends on us. Someone is impressed by Srila Prabhupada, someone is not impressed. What we can do, because there are different levels of consciousness. But if we are impressed and if we have some motivation, as a result, we have motivation to be a part of this movement, to do something good for this movement, or to become a ISKCON devotee, then it is good. It is our great fortune. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Thank you very much for
Prabhuji,
this nice opportunity to speak with all of you. Hari Bol.
yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, for taking such a wonderful lecture and blissful lecture. So we are thanks to Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. See you later. Good
Hare
evening. Good
Krishna, Hare
night.
Krishna,
Hari Bol.
Prabhu,
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.